Okay, so Hoon, thank you so much for your earlier sharing. I'd certainly like to understand from a person that has done so much for SMEs and startup entrepreneurs as well. I'm sure you have seen your bulk of challenges that these guys have. Yeah, plenty of challenges, and I think every day business is a challenge. But from a financial standpoint, what do you see as the problems that plague some of our entrepreneurs?
Well, in my experience with my clients, I deal a lot with the startups and SMEs.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to speak, I'm going to start with startups first.
Startups, yeah.
So for startups, the most probably they would have gone through a stage where they invest a lot from idea generation to commercialization. It really depends on the industries they are in. Some actually may need to invest a lot in generating products.
Right, and for the benefit, prototype would be?
A prototype is actually a commercial product, however, it has not been pushed to the market, and it needs to be tested for commercial viability.
I see.
Yeah.
So they spend a lot investing in the setting up the prototype.
Yes, in creating those prototypes. For service industries, we don't have a prototype, then most probably the period or actually your involvement, your investment from idea to commercialization of your business idea is actually shortened and less amount is being invested. Yeah. Then that means to say for those startups, once they are starting and launching those businesses, most probably their capital would have been dried up.
Wow.
So to start business is very difficult. So you will have a lot of financial constraints. Yeah. It really depends on the type of industry you're in. So perhaps if you are involving in ICT, green technology, you may be lucky enough and qualified for grant for you to start with your prototype to reduce your investment, and you may have subsequent grant for you to start your business.
Right.
But what about other industries where you are not qualified for any grants?
Yeah.
Therefore, you need to spend a lot in starting up. Yeah, so those generally are the challenges faced by startups.
Yeah, I would even imagine that if, as a startup, I start with a grant, that would be nice. But there are some entrepreneurs that just don't start with a grant. They don't start with a big lump sum of money. Then what they do is they have got to bootstrap the amount. And when they bootstrap, it's even more important that they have to have control of their finances. Yeah.
Yes, that's what.
What about SMEs? I think the larger guys. What do you see?
Startups, when you start a business,
Yeah.
so you bootstrap in order to make your first sales.
Yeah.
So eventually subsequent sales to grow your business. Therefore, from a small business startup, migrate to SMEs.
Yeah.
Your organization grow bigger.
Right.
You also face the same challenge in sourcing your finances, because what really happens is when your organization grow, you need to grow your people, your transactions, the volumes, the frequency all grow as well.
Right.
Yeah. So in saying that, that would mean you will hire additional manpower or human capital. You may need to engage more expertise specialists to manage your companies and things like that. All this cost you money.
Right.
Yeah. Money is always the same problem.
Yeah.
Eventually, what really happens is that you start to realize that you need to have a proper system in order to make sure every dollar that you spend is efficiently used.
Right.
So what do? You start to get your accountant to set up the SOP. You get your accountant to set up the department. You start to departmentalize the workforce so that they have proper channel of communication, they have proper channel of reporting.
Right.
Therefore, there will be no
Right. I think this is amazing because when I take a look at some of the business owners and entrepreneurs that I go into, a lot of them lack this SOP and system in managing the numbers, in managing the financials. Why is that there are all these challenges? I mean, why is it that that's not the place that they choose to have that control? I mean, if I look at sales and marketing, yeah, okay, I'm better over there. But a lot of them have a very messy back end. Is there any reason why?
Well, generally when you start, all that is concerned by these entrepreneurs or business owners is actually money. For them, getting money is the top priority.
Yeah.
Therefore, it is not so important to get your files tidy up because doing that do not generate any income for you.
Right, right.
However, at the back of your mind, you need to be aware if you miss those documents and things like that, eventually you may end up like missing documents, very important document that will warrant lawsuits.
Right, yeah.
Because of misunderstanding, you
Yeah.
understand your agreement, you can handle.
Yeah, it even jeopardizes your ability to get more funds in the future because
Yes.
you're so good at getting money in, but when the money is in, how do you manage it?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's a major challenge, major problem. Are there any other challenges that SMEs face in pertaining to financials and numbers and getting control? What else do you see?
I see. Well, generally, in this respect, generating sales is still the top priority in a sense. A lot of SMEs they need to embrace technology. Yeah, going from local company to regional enterprises or even going global to get more sales. Those are SMEs that actually I work with. Yeah, they are still very much a home base, so to speak. They need to grow in terms of acquiring knowledge, skills in embracing the technology advancement. Very much of the time, they will need to know how to do a proper, at least to know what SEO is about, SEM is about, things like that to help them reduce the cost of marketing.
Right, even if they're a non-technology company, they should embrace technology because it does help them to become more efficient.
Yes, SEO, SEM is a way to help you market your product.
What is SEO? Is it search engine
Search engine optimization.
Right.
SEM stands for search engine marketing.
Marketing. Wow. So that's a lot of online as well. Yeah,
Yes.
you seem like an online expert too.
Hopefully.
Hopefully,
yes.
all right. That's great. Thank you so much because I think there are a lot of different challenges out there, but in your experience, sometimes I think the key to these challenges is actually having a more systematic back end for SMEs and entrepreneurs, and to not just be so focused on bringing the money in, but when the money comes in, also what happens to it. And that's where you were talking about budgetary controls and processes, and that's also where an accountant and a bookkeeper definitely helps.
Yes. An accountant and bookkeeper actually help an established organization to make sure you comply with the law, so that every dollar that you spend is actually well kept. And when it's spent efficiently to reap the highest reward. In the form of cost savings, compliance with the law to reduce or actually avoid your tax penalty.
Yes, that's right.
And also to avoid potential lawsuits. That's very, very important because for SME, when you start to have departmental division, departmental or activities, things like that, they're bound to have a lot of promotion in terms of cultivating a company culture. So at this point in time, any organization, it is the most inefficient and ineffective. They have to go through a period of transition to get things stabilized and eventually make sure things fall into places nicely.
As you get out there and you expand to all your other countries, the last thing that you want to worry about is how clean is your backyard, your home. And so thank you so much.